So we got a little Don Lemon update for you here. You all remember that there has been massive fallout at the network over his comments questioning when women are in their, quote, prime, and telling people to Google it. These are the facts. Something like that, as his female co-hosts were like, just looking on in horror, and Poppy Harlow was like, maybe you want to clarify what exactly you mean by that. Anyway, he was forced to apologize. Chris Licht, the head of the network, addressed it. Don Lemon then was off of the morning show on both Friday and Monday, and I presume Tuesday when we are recording this. We do have an update. Yesterday, the word had come out that they were actually considering his future at the network. Like, his job was actually on the line. Now we're hearing he's going to return to CNN on Wednesday. Let me read you this from the New York Times. He'll return to his regular morning show role on Wednesday. They announced late Monday night, I'm sure to the chagrin of his female co-host.
Yeah.
In a terse 75-word memo sent at 10:37 p.m., CNN's chairman, Chris Licht, said Mr. Lemon has, quote, agreed to participate in formal training over his on-air behavior and that the network took this situation very seriously. Quote, I sat down with Don and had a frank and meaningful conversation, adding, it is important to me that CNN balances accountability with fostering a culture in which people can own, learn, and grow from their mistakes. His decision to address the matter in a memo in the waning hours of a holiday weekend reflected just how large a shadow the episode had cast over the network. So I guess Don Lemon is sort of humiliatingly, publicly being forced into some sort of sensitivity training. Is that the idea here?
Couldn't have happened to a better guy, first of all. And secondly, reading between the lines of that, it sounds, from my perspective, like they couldn't get him out of his contract. Those contract negotiations are really difficult, and especially when you have somebody as high profile and wealthy and powerful as Don Lemon, even against an entity as powerful as CNN, it can be really difficult. I would assume, and we talked about this yesterday, Krystal, that this was almost an opportunity, an exciting opportunity for Chris Licht to purge Lemon from the ranks of CNN, where he's sowing a lot of dissent. You can see that in the tabloid leaks. He doesn't get along with his co-hosts. His show is rated really poorly, and that's not just because of his co-hosts. Obviously, he plays a role in that. And he's totally out of step with the Licht brand. He's very much a holdover from the Zucker era of CNN that Licht is just desperately, furiously trying to scrub from CNN's new brand. So especially when you cross a line on sort of like a sexual human resources question, you'd think that they would be able to get him out of his contract. Maybe they want to keep Don Lemon. Is there a good argument for them keeping Don Lemon from a business perspective?
Not one I can see. I mean, I think he's very expensive and the show that he's on isn't doing well. So, I mean, bottom line's the bottom line here. I thought this was interesting. The New York Times notes that the new morning show format was designed to be a, quote, mass appeal play. This is the New York Times I'm quoting from. But in its first few months on the air, it has been anything but. Its ratings have not kept up with competitors on MSNBC and Fox News. Tensions have bubbled up between the co-anchors, and the executive producer has already been replaced. Chris Licht, it comes from a morning show background. The whole idea was, okay, this is him really putting his imprint on the network. And they've ended up, by moving, deck chairs around here, they've ended up actually making the product much worse. And while I personally enjoy the tense, uncomfortable moments that periodically get clipped out of the show that we see on Twitter of them clearly despising each other, that's not comfortable for people to watch as an actual morning show viewer.
Right.
And then with regards to these comments, I mean, listen, your audience is exactly the women that you are offending.
Such a good point.
So that's why ultimately this was such a big problem, is not because, they really care about oh, this wasn't right or whatever. He just pissed off their entire audience basically with these remarks. So they had to do something to show that they took this seriously and they're responding to it. But, we'll see how it all works out, because it's very hard. If you have personalities that don't gel, there's no sensitivity training or whatever that you can force people to go through that's going to fix that. You've got personalities that, that aren't working well together. It's not a good morning show vibe. The show doesn't know what it is, whether it's supposed to be just a news show or whether they're trying to do some Today Show thing or whatever. It's very confused, and ultimately, that's why it's not working.
It's why I have to drink to get through shows with Ryan.
Listen, girl, do what you gotta do. I support it.
But no, I mean, it's a really good point. And Don Lemon is just so far from what CNN is trying to do. We were talking yesterday, like there was a time when Don Lemon was entertaining, like just from a purely like the perspective of theater, the theater of news broadcasts. Like he could do that, but he is just. This is what happened to Megyn Kelly, by the way. NBC wanted to get rid of Megyn Kelly. They used the fig leaf excuse of a PC infraction, basically to get her out of the contract. So that's kind of what I expected to happen with Don Lemon, but it looks like he's safe for now.
He might be more interesting if he just was like unleashed.
Yes,
you know,
more of this. Don't make it photosensitivity training. Like let's get raw
Let Don
Lemon.
be Don.
Unplugged. Yeah, let's just go for it. Let Don be. I'm here for it. I'd watch the show.
Yeah, it would at least be more interesting. All right, love you guys. More for you later. Hey guys, ready or not, 2024 is fully upon us now, and Sagar and I have been brainstorming ways that we can really up our game for this critical election.
Yeah, we rely on our premium subs to expand our coverage, to add staff, to upgrade the studio. We just want to give you the best independent coverage of this election, which is possible. So if you can help us out, become a premium subscriber today, breakingpoints.com, or the link is down here in the description video. It really means the world to us, and if you like what we're all about, this is the best possible way to keep us 100% independent, working only for you.